with any small business, there's usually lots of free things that you can do that are going to improve your profits and your bottom line. And one of those things is to get more sales from the inquiries or the phone calls that you're already getting. So here's 4 things that you can do, which won't cost anything, that you can put into place that will mean that more of the phone calls that you get actually turn into people handing over cash and paying for your products or paying for your services. Okay, number 1, respond. Let me tell you a story. When we first started JDR, we needed a printer. We needed to get business cards, we needed to letterheads, all that stuff. So I rang personally something like 15 different printers in the Derby area, and I told them what we were looking for, and they said they would come back to me with quotes. Now, of the 15 I called, probably only 7 actually answered the phone. Of the 7 that answered the phone, 2 of them came back with a quote within 2 days. Now, I don't think that's a one-off. That happens in businesses up and down the country. So, if you want to get the most from the advertising and from the marketing that you're spending your hard-earned money on, then you've got to do one simple thing. Make sure that your phone always gets answered, and always gets answered quickly. I recommend within 5 or 6 rings. Secondly, when people ask you for a quote or they ask you about doing something, get back to them as quickly as you can. Do it with urgency, because if you take a week coming back to someone, they're going to assume that you're going to be just as lethargic when it actually comes to doing the work. So respond, and respond quickly. Number 2, ask questions. The first thing you should say to everyone that calls up, I'm talking about phone calls rather than email inquiries where this is more difficult. When people call, the first thing that most people say is, how much does this cost, or how much would this cost? So the magic question is to say, firstly, thanks very much for the phone call. So that I can help you best, what I'm going to need to do is just ask you a couple of quick questions. Is that okay? Now that gets you starting a conversation with them. Get into a conversation rather than then just going, that's the price, that's the price, that's the price, because it commoditizes what you're doing. So for example, if people come into your shop and you ask, can I help you, sir, for example, people say, no, we're just looking. Whereas if you ask, hi, can I ask, have you been here before? Then it starts a conversation. Number 3, know what your USP is. Unique selling point is what this stands for. It's basically what differentiates you from anyone else. Let's take you back to the printer example. Obviously, I was interested in asking how much it would cost to have what we did. Now, if one of those printers had said, look, I'm going to give you the quote that you're asking for, but let me just make a couple of points, okay? We're not the cheapest printer in Derby because what we believe in is providing quality, speed of response. We're going to give you the following guarantees, and they gave a good reason why I should pick their printer rather than anyone else. They would stand a much better chance of getting the sale rather than just going on price alone. So understand what's different about your business, and what's the reason that me as a customer, I should buy from you when I could go to anyone else in your competitors. Finally, number 4, measure. You want to measure, out of all the phone calls and inquiries you get, how many of them do you actually convert? And keep a tally of those percentages. And what you'll find is when you start measuring how many people actually phone your business or send emails to you, and how actually many you turn into new customers, you'd be amazed generally at how low those percentages are. And when you start measuring it, you'll become aware of it, you'll become more conscious of it, and your conversion rate will improve. So there you go, 4 very simple, very easy things you can get started on straight away that's going to mean you don't have to spend a penny more on advertising or marketing, and you're going to get more sales, and you're going to improve your profits as a result.